in the previous video, I mentioned that traders use the Tradingview for analysis. A lot of traders use Tradingview for analysis. So I want to use this video to give you a brief walkthrough into the interface of the Tradingview, just to know what is going on, right, and how to go about using the Tradingview. So once you download the Tradingview app and then you log in, right, with your account, you log in with your Google Gmail account, right? So you go to this tab, you click on this tab. This is where you are going to add the pairs you are going to trade. So we have stocks, funds, futures, forex, crypto, indices, bonds, economy options. But since we trade forex, right, we are going to select forex, right? There are others who also trade crypto, so we are going to select crypto. So now on the forex chart, we add the pairs we want to trade. So in this case, we have Euro USD, we have USD JPY, we have USD CAD, Euro JPY, USD CHF, NZD USD. So you just select the ones that you are going to trade. So normally select those ones that have the wanda attached to it, right? In my experience, I think that's the best, right? But if you don't get wanda attached to that specific pair you want to select, just select anyone, either FXEM or Forex.com, right? But if wanda is available, select wanda. So you just have to click on the extreme ends here, and then it will be added to your watch list. So when you click on it, to add it to your watch list. If you click on it, to add it to your watch list, guys. So once you are done, this is where you are going to access your watch list. Right? So these are currently the pairs on my watch list now. So I just added USD JPY. So this is right. You can also delete pairs from your watch list, right? If you don't need them, you just click on the delete button and then you delete them from your watch list. Let's say you want to delete this from your watch list, right? And delete it from your watch list. So that is it. Now coming down here, right, we have news. So you'll be able to get a bit of fundamental news from this session, right? And then the next we have ideas. So other traders also post their ideas, what they think the market is going to do maybe in the week ahead, right? So you see this trader, he has this is what he thinks based on he thinks the market is going to do in the upcoming days, right? And we also have mines. The mines is a bit quicker. It's daily, like something that traders often post daily. With the ideas, normally it's long term, maybe 2-3 days to come, maybe the week ahead. But with the mines, normally it's within the day or maybe the few 4 hours coming ahead. What that trader is going to expect, like a signal. So you can, once you know how you want to trade your strategy, I don't think you're worried about what is going on here. But sometimes you can make your analysis, go through and see what other traders are also thinking about their specific pair you're analyzing. And now we have the tools here. So the first one, we have tools that you are going to use when we start doing our technical analysis, right? We have the trend line, we have Ray info, but the most used ones, right, necessary ones, is this trend line. I have it added to my favorite. We have horizontal lines in the Ray. Then I don't use the vertical line, right? I don't have a use for that. But normally traders who mark out sessions right on their chart, they normally use the vertical line. So yes, and then we have the parallel channel, regression trend. I don't use all these things, right? These are the ones I use. But then you can play around these tools, right? They can serve a purpose in your technical line. So with this flat, let's start with the trend line. You use it to draw your trend. But the market is pushing up, pushing down. Yes, it's an analysis tool. Trend line can also be used for analysis. Then we have I don't use these ones, right? So this is to draw a horizontal line on a chart. So maybe you want to mark up a resistance, or maybe you want to mark a source support. You can use the horizontal line. Then we have the Ray. I also use the Ray to mark out my supply and demand zone. So yes, we also have the Ray. You can play around these ones, and then we have the parallel channel, right? Yes, normally for patterns, the rising channel pattern, right? You can use the parallel channel, and then we have the flat top, normally used to indicate double tops, double bottoms, and the rest, right? And then we have Fibonacci retracement. So this is the fib tool. I'll be explaining how to use the fib tool later in our analysis, but then the fib tool is also a tool used to aid to know where the market is likely to retrace, right? And then we have trend-based fib extension. I don't use that, or I don't use any of these tools. From this option, I just use the Fibonacci tool. But then maybe once you start trading, you find these things what's important, you can use them, but I don't actually have a use for it. I don't think a lot of traders use. The most important tool on this tab, I think, is the fib retracement tool, right? And then we have this too. So there are also patterns, right? I don't use them, so I can't tell you much about it, but people who trade different strategies like the Elliott waves, they will find these tools useful. And then those who also trade patterns in the head and shoulder, right? We also add patterns to our trading. So used to head and shoulder is a trading pattern, right? Used in trading, so you can use it to indicate your head and shoulder patterns. And now on this tab, this is the long and short tool. So I said in trading, when you are looking for buys, you are going to go long. It means you are going long. So let's say you are trying to enter the market here. You are going to put the middle part at where you are trying to enter the market, and then right, you adjust these. So we talked about pips in our previous lesson. So let's say I want my stop loss to be 80 pips, right? So this is where you see this is the pips, right? 80, right? And I want my take profit to be 300 pips. So you can see 300 pips. So that means if the market goes against my direction to this level, I'm going to lose $80, right? If I use 0.1, the market goes in my direction to this level, I'm going to gain $300 when it taps this area. So I'll be looking at what figures it corresponds to on the right side, and I'll tap those figures into my MetaTrader app. So here, this is what I'm going to tap in my MetaTrader app, 1.28390 in my MetaTrader app, and then I tap this ones, I key these ones in as my take profits, and then I leave the market to run. So this tool does the calculation for you automatically. It helps you to also know your risk reward. So you see ratio, we have 3.75. So you are risking 1:3.75. You are risking 1 percent for 3.75%. That's a good risk reward ratio. That means if you are risking $10, if you win the trade, potentially you are going to have 300. You are going to have, let's say if you are using 0.1, you are going to have $300, and let's say $75. So 3.75, so $375, and if it goes against your direction, you are going to lose $80. So same as if you are going short, you are going to select short. If you think the market is going to sell, you are going to select short, and then you adjust these these levels, right, to correspond to where you want to put your stop loss, and then you look at the corresponding figures, and then you key that into your MetaTrader. So the Tradingview is used for analysis, and then the MetaTrader is used for key in your details that will enable you to join the trade on the market, right? Now, I said if your broker supports trading directly through Tradingview, you can also use the Tradingview for your entries, right? So we have buy and sell here. And now, yes, on this tab, this is what I use. I don't use these, right? All these ones, I don't use them, so right, I can't tell you much about it, right? And then at this section, we have the brush. You can illustrate on the chart. Maybe you want to indicate some zones, right? You can use them. And also, we have the arrow marker. Some others also prefer using markers and stuff to they make the analysis on the chart, and then they document it on the charts, right, to make it look attractive, and also once they see the chart, they know what they are looking out for, right? So if you want to add markers to your analysis, you can add it to right, show certain points you are looking for the market to react to, right? So you also have the arrow, right, and then we have the arrow up, and then we have the arrow down. These are all tools you can use to aid. Normally after your analysis, you use them to indicate certain points on the chart, right? If you don't add them, you can still do your analysis, but others prefer adding these levels. And then we have what? The rectangle tool. So the rectangle tool is used to what? The rectangle tool is used to show support and resistance levels, right? So, right, we have to indicate support, right, and then indicates resistance. We haven't learned about support and resistance, but it's a trading what? Technical analysis what? Concept. So we use this rectangle tool to, right, demonstrate those zones, right? And then we have what? A rotated rectangle. I don't use these things. I don't know what I'll even use that for, right? I don't use them in my analysis. And then we have the path. So we can use the path. I'll be using the path a lot during the teaching. I'll be using it to what? Draw out the scheme of what? A structure. So it's like draw out the path of a structure. Let's say we are pushing to the upside. We have this, 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 right? So that's the use of the path too, right? And then we have the circle too. You can use it to what? Note some certain points, areas where you're expecting the market to what? To get what? Reversals or continuation, right? Now we have all these triangles, polyline. I don't use these, but then you can definitely play around with them, right, if you think they are going to aid in your analysis, right? And then we have the text too. So, right, you write something, maybe you can make some comments on the chat. Mostly when you are sending it to someone, right, you can make some comments on the chat. Maybe this is what I'm looking to buy. You can also make those comments on the chat for your own what? Self, right? So let's look at the minds. There are people who use, I think there are people who use these comments, right? Let's see. So you see he's written support, his target, resistance, retest, right? So you realize there are people out there also using this. He does it for his own what? Analysis, right? So to be able to what? Help his own self, right? Make his analysis. So yes, you can be writing those things on the chat. You can also add emojis to the chat. I don't understand maybe the reason why you add an emoji to your trading chat, but then if you think it is going to help you, you can also add that to your chat. And then, right, this is the only thing I use out of this tab. But then if you feel other tools are going to help you, can definitely what? Play around with them. And then we have what? The measuring tool. I don't use this tool. I don't have a use for it yet. So yes, but normally it's used to what? Measure the range and the volume of the bars or something, right? So I don't use that. Yes, and then here you can lock, I think you can lock your drawings at this tab, right? You can lock all your drawings at this tab, and then you can also hide all your drawings at this tab. I don't use what? These tools, but this is to keep your drawing, right? And I don't use this two, I don't use it. This is to keep your drawings, right? So yes, once you lock them, whatever analysis you do on the chart, they are going to be on the chart every time you reload the charts, right? Yes, and then we have what? Lock all drawings, right? Keep drawings and then lock all drawings. So yes, and this is to clear the drawings, and then this is to delete, remove the drawings from the chart, right? So this session is where you are going to what? Select, I've said earlier, the shortlisted item. So once you click on it, it's going to reload and then open for you, right? Yes, so that's it. And then you have the alert too. You can also set an alert. You can't always be on the chart, so you can set an alert that maybe when price reaches this area, you should get an alert on your phone, right? So when it's crossing the area, normally when you have that trading view on your phone, it's going to give you the alert. It's on your phone, or if you have it on your PC too, you are going to have a noise to tell you that maybe price is crossing, right? Crossing up, crossing down, crossing a specific zone. And then we have what? Indicators, right? So indicators too are aided tools in analysis, right? Our tools that we add them to our technical analysis to have further confirmation. So the list of indicators, this is where you're getting your moving averages, the RSI, the oscillator, the stochastic, and all those things. We'll be touching on some of the indicators in our lesson, but then I don't use I use only one indicator in my trading, right? But then there are others who will prefer adding other indicators, right, to aid the analysis. So yes, so this is a brief walkthrough into the app. definitely you have to download it yourself and also go through it, try to draw certain things on the chart, right? There's also a replay button, so you can reverse the previous prices that has normally is used for back testing, right? You reverse the previous happenings and then you try to trade in real time, right? Yes, but normally that's the paid version. If you have the paid version, you can use the replay. And then at this area you can select whether you want your chart to appear as bars. There are others who trade this way, but I've barely seen a trader who uses this, but they're said to be traders who trade with these bars, right? And then traders who trade with candles, and then mostly a lot of people trade with candles. You can also make the candles hollow, and you also have volume candles, right? So it depends on you, right? And you can also change the chart into a line chart, right? Maybe for a reason, for your own reasons, right? And then so you're going to leave it at bars. So this is basically, and then yes, you can also download an image, so you save your analysis, right? If you want to maybe save this interface, maybe post it, or you want to keep it on your PC, or maybe you want to journal with it, you can save it with this, right? So this is the most important things you'll be needing, right, on this app. But there's a lot of them too, you can just be going through yourself. And this is also the time session. So we have the daily. Currently the chart is on the daily, right? When you go to 4 hour, what that means is that every candle here takes 4 hours to form. When you go to the daily, what that means is that every candle here takes a day to form, right? If you go to 1 hour, it means every candle here takes 1 hour to form, right? So normally traders also switch between time frames to make our analysis. If you go to weekly, that means every candle here takes a whole week to form, right? So traders use these things to aid in our analysis, right? Switching between time frames. So I think that is all for now, right? That is all for now. You can also download the app and then go through, because you'll be needing this interface a lot, right? This is where all your analysis happen before you place a trade. So if you don't know how to use this app, right, it's going to be difficult for you to trade. So yes, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment under the post, and also join the Telegram community for additional tutorials, right, Forex books and other Forex educational tools.